Hello, my dear students. I am Priyanka Koiri, your science teacher, and the chapter that we are discussing is heredity and evolution. Okay, so in the last class, what we have learned is that the rules of heredity determine the process by which traits and characteristics are reliably inherited, right? In the last class, I told you that it is through heredity only which tells us how traits will be inherited from parents to the offspring. Okay, and we also studied that both the parents contribute equal amount of genetic material, that is your DNA, to the child, right? So this is what we have studied in the last class. In today's class, we are going to study about the rules for the inheritance of traits in case of a single trait. So what rules govern the inheritance of one trait from parents to offspring, we will study. Okay, so these rules were formulated by Mendel, who is the father of classical genetics. So what did Mendel do? Mendel took pea plant. Okay, Mendel took pea plant and he did cross pollination. Okay, so what is cross pollination or pollination is that it is the process, the pollination is the process by which pollen grains are transferred from anther to stigma. Okay, so this transfer of pollen grains is called pollination, and cross pollination is the transfer of this pollen grains or the male gamete, okay, from one plant to a different plant. So that is your cross pollination. So Mendel, he took pea plants and he cross pollinated them. Okay, so Mendel took pea plant with different characteristics. So for example, he took a tall pea plant and a short pea plant. Okay, so he took a tall pea plant and a short pea plant and he cross pollinated it. So let us for the time being denote the tall as TT, capital T, and short as small t, small t. Okay, after that, in the F1 progeny, all plants were tall. Here F1 progeny refers to the offspring or the next generation that came after crossing a tall plant and a short plant. Okay, fine. After crossing, that means you're after cross pollinating a tall pea plant and a short pea plant, the next generation that came is called your F1 progeny or F1 generation. Okay, so what did Mendel do? Mendel took tall plant and dwarf, that is your short plant, and what did he do? He cross pollinated them. Okay, now for for the reproduction to occur here, the tall pea plant will produce gamete. So what are gametes? Gametes are that reproducing cells that takes part in your reproduction, right? So gametes have single copy of your DNA, right? In normal plants, in normal case, we have two sets of chromosomes, but in gamete they have only one set of chromosome. Okay, so for the tall pea plant, since it has got two sets of chromosome, so we have written it as capital T and capital T. Okay, so from there came your, in the gamete which is shown in the red star, you can see there is one single T. This single T represents your gametes. Similarly, from small t will come, that is your short plant, will come one gamete that will be small t. Okay, so these two will combine to form capital T and small t, right? Capital T and small t, and this all were the next generation, that is capital T and small t, were all tall. Clear? So what did Mendel do? Mendel took pea plant one was tall and the other was short. He cross pollinated them, and after cross pollination he found that the F1 generation, in the F1 generation all the plants were tall. So we have represented the tall plants as capital T and short plant as small t, and the F1 generation we got capital T and small t. Fine. Now the next question comes in the mind of Mendel is that where the tall plants in the F1 generation is exactly the same as the tall plants of the parent generation. So Mendel after crossing a tall plant and a short plant, Mendel is getting again a tall plant. So he is thinking that whether this tall plant that he has got in this second in the first generation, is it same with the tall plants of the parent generation? Okay, so this is what Mendel was thinking. Okay, so in order to find the answer, what did Mendel do? Mendel again did pollination, but in this now he has done self pollination. Okay, so I told you that cross pollination is pollination between two different plants. Okay, and self pollination is when pollination is done in the same plant, that is call your self pollination. Okay, so what did Mendel do? Mendel did self pollination. So okay, so first he did self pollination between two tall parental plants. So the parental tall that he has, he did pollination in them. Okay, so the progeny of the parental plants were of course all tall, since both the parents were tall, right? Both the parents were tall. As a result, the next generation that came was also tall. Okay, okay. That means Mendel took a tall plant, capital T, to find out the answer. Okay, to find out the answer, Mendel took a tall plant and another tall plant. Two tall plants he took. Okay, he then cross pollinated it. After cross pollination, what did he observe? That the next generation that came was also tall. Okay, so this is capital T. After pollination, all the plants were tall. So he said that the parental tall, the parents that were tall will always give tall plants as their children. Okay, now he did another self pollination. He did a second self pollination between the two tall plants of F1 progeny. The first generation that we obtained, right? The first generation that we obtained after crossing tall and a short plant. Okay, I told you that Mendel took pea plant, one tall and one short, right? And after pollinating them, okay, after crossing them, he found that all the plants were tall. So now he took that tall plant and he did self pollination in them. Okay, so what it was capital T and small t, right? The F1 generation he he pollinated them. So after so what do you think? A tall plant, another tall plant. Okay, in this case, what do you think? What will be the next generation? Okay, so in this case, there were two different types of gamete during self pollination. Okay, in the F1 generation, the F1 generation self pollination, there were two different types of gametes, right? Since the parents are capital T and small t, right? So there will be two different types of gametes. The first one is capital T, right? The first one will be capital T and the second one will be small t. Okay, so this is your sperm cells. That means from male we will get capital T and small t. Similarly, we will get another capital T and small t for egg, that is for female, right? So in case of F1 generation, there are two different types of gamete. One is capital T and the other one is your small t. Since both the genes are carried on the same chromosome, the F1 progeny produces only two types of gamete. Now in this case, two types of gametes will be produced. Okay. So in the F2 progeny, all were not tall. So in the next generation, after crossing the F1 progeny, the next generation that came, it doesn't have all tall plants, right? So here Mendel took capital T, he crossed them and he obtained the second generation, which is your F2 generation. Okay, so let's work out how he did it. Okay, so the sperm cells will be capital T, another one will be small t, right? Similarly for egg, that is from female, one will be capital T and the next one will be your small t. Now this capital T and capital T will combine, right? Now this capital T and capital T will combine to give you capital T and capital T. Okay, I think you are getting it. Capital T and capital T will combine to get capital T and capital T. That means that plant will be tall, right? Because we said in the first slides only, previous slides, I've told you that capital T and capital T was tall. The next one will be capital T and small t, right? Capital T and small t. So this was one also tall. The next one will be capital T and small t again. Okay, so this one will be also tall. And the next one is small t, and small t, if you remember, it was short. Okay, so after crossing the F1 plants, the F2 generation, in the F2 generation, it was seen that 1/4 of the total plant is short. Okay, clear? So this is what exactly Mendel did. In this diagram, you can see at first it is written P1 generation. P1 generation refers to parent generation. So from parent generation, capital T and capital T is there and small t is there. So the gametes here will be capital T, right? And small t. Same. Okay. Now after crossing in the F1 generation, as you can see, there are two circles and it is written capital T and capital T. And capital T and small t. This capital T and small t is your tall. Now from the F1 generation comes again your gametes, that will be capital T. Two different types will be gamete will be there. That is one capital T and small t. So after combining, after making all the possible combination, it was found that 75% of the plant were tall and 25% were short. Or in other words, it can be said that 1/4 of the total progeny in the F2 generation were short or dwarf. Okay, so let us try to understand how this is done. Okay, so if we take small t in the top one, you can say is see it is small t, and in the side it is capital T and small t. So how it is done? We will write T first, any T first, and the next one will combine from the top. Okay, so keeping this in mind, let's see how it is done. Okay, so from male it came capital T and small t, and from female also it came capital T and small t. So in the first box, both will be capital T, 1 T from male, 1 T from female. In the second one, 1 T, that is capital T from female, and from male it came small t. So that means the combination is your capital T and small t. The third one, you can see small t from female and capital T from male. Okay, so it is capital T and small t. Now in the last one, both from male and female came small t. Okay, so this is how it is done. These boxes are known as your Punnett square. Okay, now the phenotypic ratio was obtained is as 3:1 and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So what is this phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio? We will understand now. Okay, so what is phenotype? The way an organism looks, that is your phenotype. So it could be either tall or short, okay, violet or white flowers. So if you remember, the tall plants, the total number of tall plants were 3, right, and the dwarf or the short one is 1. So that is why the phenotypic ratio is 3:1. Genotype is the gene combination of an organism. What is the gene combination of an organism? That is your genotypic ratio. So the genotypic ratio here, it was 1:2:1. If you remember, we got capital T as one set, capital T and small t as two sets, and small t as one set. That is why it is 1:2:1. Next, so Mendel asked the question that were all the tall plants in the F1 generation exactly as the tall plants of the parent generation? So to find the answer of this question, what did Mendel do? Mendel went for F2 progeny through self-pollination to find the answer of this question. Okay, so what did Mendel do? Mendel, to find the answer of that question, he did self-pollination of the F1 generation and the parental type to get F2 progeny. So the progeny of the parental plants were all tall. The parental tall plants gave all tall plants, right? Progeny of the parental plants were all tall. The progeny of the F1 tall plants were not all tall, however, 1/4 were short. This indicates that both the tallness and shortness traits were inherited in the F1 plants, but only the tallness traits were expressed. Okay, in the F1 generation, you can see it has got both capital T and small t, but only tallness trait was expressed. Why didn't this small t was expressed? We will understand slowly. Okay, thus 2 copies of traits are inherited in each sexually reproducing organism. Okay, these 2 copies may be identical or may be different depending on the parentage. Okay, now dominant traits and recessive traits. What are dominant traits and recessive traits? Okay, the trait that is observed in the progeny of the F1 generation is the dominant trait, since a single copy of T is enough to make the plant tall. Okay, so in the F1 generation, we saw that all the plants were tall, that is, the traits was tall. So tall is considered as dominant trait in case of pea plant, right? Because why it is called dominant? Because here a single copy of T, if you remember, there was only one capital T, and that capital T was enough to make the plant tall. Okay, so if a single copy of a gene is enough to make a plant for that trait, then that trait is considered as dominant, and it is always written in uppercase, that means in capital letter. Okay, the trait that disappeared in the progeny of F1 generation is the recessive trait. Okay, so in the F1 generation, the trait that was not shown was this short, right? Because in this case, since both copies of T are required for the plant to be short, so you will see that the tall plant was expressed only when both small t and small t were present. So for those genes, both 2 copies of gene sets are required. That is considered as your recessive trait. It is usually written in lowercase or in small letters. Okay, now what is monohybrid cross? A cross between 2 types of plants of same species considering only the transmission of one character is called monohybrid cross. Okay, a cross which is made between 2 plants and where we consider only one trait, either the height of the plant or the color of the flower is studied, that is a monohybrid cross. For example, a cross between tall pea plant and a short pea plant, that is considering only the height of the plant, is a monohybrid cross. Now let us try to recall what we have studied. So we studied the rules of inheritance in case of single trait, and in this we found that in the F1 progeny, all were tall. In the F2 progeny, all were not tall, 1/4 of them were short. And we studied that when only one trait is studied during a cross, it is called monohybrid cross. Okay, I hope it is clear. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.